In Charlottesville, Virginia, they're still talking about Confederate statues.
It's become ground zero because the whole issue of removing Confederate statues is nationwide.
When the city council here voted to remove two Civil War statues, one of Stonewall Jackson and the other of Robert E. Lee, it brought Charlottesville lawyer Buddy Weber into the conversation and the courtroom.
After city council passed the vote to remove the statue, there was several attorneys and a group of people that were getting together to basically file a lawsuit against the city because they violated the law.
A law governing not what these statues represent, but what they are.
We've got a statute here that specifically protects war memorials. It doesn't matter whether it's Confederate memorials or Union memorials or Algonquin War or whatever.
Judge Richard Moore has ruled that these monuments are war memorials, citing a statute on statues.
It protects them and it keeps them insulated from the shifting tides of public opinion, which is exactly what we're dealing with right now.
Charlottesville City Councilor Wes Bellamy voted for the removal of the statues. He scoffs at the notion that philanthropist Paul McIntyre, the benefactor of these monuments, intended them as war memorials back in 1924.
He didn't say anything about the war. He didn't mention that this is for the Confederacy. He dedicated it simply to his parents.
People are now taking down statues of Christopher Columbus. They're taking down statues of George Washington. People getting triggered by George Washington. You know, where does it end?
Wes Bellamy says that the Lee and Jackson statues violate the Equal Protection Clause in the Constitution.
As an African American or a person of color, when you walk outside of a courthouse or even just 2 blocks away from the courthouse, you see 2 Confederate statues hovering over you. How can you tell me that I'm going to get a fair shot within any courtroom?
Activists intent on protecting the monuments to Confederate soldiers here in Charlottesville say that if you take them down, then statues like this of Thomas Jefferson here at the University of Virginia would be the next to go. But on the other side, they say it's not about that at all.
When you look at the fact that white supremacists literally came here from across the country to celebrate those statues with their tiki torches from Walmart and to try to send a very clear message of intimidation to our community, it's much more than a war memorial. It's a beacon of hate.
And on this now sacred American corner where Heather Heyer lost her life, her cause remains very much alive.
I mean, you're standing on the side of a freedom fighter, a lady who literally lost her life standing for what she believed in. That's never easy, but for her, we have to continue fighting for her mother, for her family members, and for her friends, but not just for them, for the city.
Michael Shure, I-24 News, Charlottesville, Virginia.